some sound over here.
You are a part of the Ace and TJ radio family.
Go.
This is launch control.
Let's synchronize, shall we?
Ready. 3, 2, 1.
Let's go!
Live from the Calitrin Studios, this is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Woo, I'm eating me a banana just like a darn old monkey, man. Looking like a monkey over
This is
here.
2 days in a row we've discussed your
Yeah.
banana habits at this time, TJ.
Yeah, well, I just love them. Just love them. It's, you know, the delicacy from my homeland.
Louisiana?
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that a lot of the best bananas come from Louisiana, central Louisiana.
It's not the news, it's more important. Now trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ show.
All right, so today, South Korea passed the bill to ban eating dog meat. And it turns out it's just no one in South Korea was really eating dogs at the time when they were eating them. It was because they weren't able to find other sources of protein. And apparently the First Lady of South Korea made it her mission to get this on the floor of Parliament, and it did pass this morning. A breeding and slaughter of dogs for consumption now illegal, and the fines you could face are pretty serious: $23,000 and up to 3 years in prison if you are caught doing either of those things. So, majority of South Koreans already on board with not eating dogs.
North Koreans, on the other hand,
Do they eat dogs? I don't know anything about what they eat.
I know
up
Kim
there.
Jong-un does.
Does he?
The leader, yep.
How you know that?
I just know things. I do word search.
Okay. I didn't say he did that.
I'm trying to get sued by
Yeah, I'm trying to order
Korea.
a missile sent to straight to me.
The state of North Korea versus Alexa. That's not good.
I don't want those problems.
The hottest celebrity feud of the day is Jimmy Kimmel versus Aaron Rodgers. Now, Aaron Rodgers, I would imagine, is about to expose Jimmy Kimmel on Pat McAfee's show on ESPN any minute now. I don't know what time that show starts, but I think it's soon.
It starts at noon.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jimmy Kimmel last night went on his show, spent 7 minutes of his monologue basically calling Aaron Rodgers an idiot and doubling down. And Aaron Rodgers said, has been a man of few words about the whole incident. He just said, I'll be speaking about it on Tuesday's show, Tune In, to reporters. So I love it. I can't get enough of this celebrity feud. And I want to see him fight it out.
Well, I don't normally tune in, but I will be tuning in.
I think it's must-see TV today.
I hear you.
Yeah, I would watch that, except I don't like watching ESPN for political reasons. And I can't look at a man in a tank top that long. Pat McAfee doesn't. He wears nothing but tank tops most of the time.
He's a big tank top guy.
Yeah, and even if you're in good shape and you got some nice looking arms, you're still, you know, you're somebody's dad.
Interesting.
Put on a whole shirt.
Yeah, for real. Today's Taco Tuesday, and if you find that hashtag on the internet, I'm sick and tired of getting played by Taco Tuesday, because when I click on that hashtag, I'm expecting to see people's delicious tacos that they made for Taco Tuesday, but it's always graphic adult material every time, and it gets me every time because I really want to see people's tacos. Like, what do you put on your tacos? But it's never that. It's always
Click on.
very graphic adult material every time, 10 out of 10 times.
Okay, well, I
and-
just clicked on it and I got nothing graphic.
Yeah, well.
Dang. Okay.
You hate that. And then it's the Consumer Electronics Show out in Las Vegas. It happens every year. But Apple got ahead of it by announcing that their Apple Vision Pro will launch on February 2nd at all Apple Store locations. Tim Cook calls the Apple Vision Pro the most advanced consumer electronics device ever created. Now, if you haven't seen this thing in action, it's basically a pair of virtual reality glasses, AR glasses, augmented reality. $3,500 for this thing. It's a headset, and you can basically interact in the real world like you would on an iPhone. It gives you little icons and stuff, but you can also see through the glasses, so you can still maintain having conversations with people while interacting in a digital space.
Yes.
So, like in the video here, there's a guy in a room with his children, and he's wearing the glasses while he's watching them play.
Yeah.
Here's a novel concept. Talk to him.
Yeah, take your glasses off while you're talking
it's
to
weird.
me.
You can still talk to him.
No, I don't like that. That's rude.
Yeah, you look ridiculous.
Yeah.
You do look really stupid, and you're attached to a cord, and it's $3,500.
Now, I'm sure they do some pretty incredible stuff. I just don't understand I don't know the rationale for wanting to have that.
Yeah, the cord isn't the biggest problem I have with it. Because you can get an Oculus Quest that has pass through where you can see outside the glasses for way cheaper.
Oh, is that right? That's already been done?
Yeah,
So-
the Quest 3 has that, yeah.
Based on what you're showing us now, though, Riggins, a lot of what they do is people can watch your videos, or you can watch you can watch everything on the glasses and expand the scope of the screen and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're taking in the same content in a different way
Okay.
for $3,500.
No thanks.
I've seen people wearing them in like a kitchen, like the Quest, they wear them in a kitchen and have like a fake TV screen in front of them and they can watch stuff and still cook
Really?
within the goggles, yeah.
That's how you lose a finger.
Yeah, Ace, you kind of did this when you bought that 3D TV. You were wearing the goggles to watch the NFL games and stuff.
I wore those one time just to see what it was like, and it was okay, but it's not worth, wasn't worth purchasing. It wasn't worth doing all the time.
How much was that
I don't
system?
remember. It wasn't very expensive. It wasn't super expensive.
Not 35 grand. I'm
No,
assuming.
good Lord, no.
Or
no.
3,500.
Not even in the ballpark.
Nice.
Plus, I did 12 months interest free at Best Buy. So.
It's basically free. It's basically free. Well, I've got some alarming news I found out yesterday about screen time, specifically related to this, and we'll get to that coming up next.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Hi, I'm Thomas Davis, and let me tell you why I'm a proud member of Team Neogenics.
If your nagging pain is keeping you from being active, do something about it. Join the long list of pros and average Joes who have found relief with our stem cell and regenerative therapies.
After trying all the others, I decided to try Neogenics. My knees and shoulders haven't felt this good since my college days. If you want to get back in the game, do what I did. Visit Neogenics, where all you have to lose is pain.
When it comes to your money and things like a cash out refi, you hear a lot of stuff these days. Information is flying around, but here's the bottom line. You want someone you can trust. Well, here is someone that we trust. Richard Toccato and the Richard Toccato Companies. We've worked with Richard for years, and you know all the ins and outs, and more importantly, you give everybody options.
That's right. We have a lot of options. This one lady, we just refinanced her house, paid off all of her credit card debts. She even paid her car off. She's saving $1,000 a month. So that really changes her life and her financial well-being.
Yeah.
And she didn't have to make a house payment until 2024. So, there's not a better time to do it is when you need the extra money every month.
They call it cash out, is what we call it in the business.
Cash out.
Cash out.
That's right. Cash out.
So it's one free 5-minute phone call right now, 704-800-4719, 704-800-4719, or go to homewithrichard.com. Do it today. You'll be so glad you did. The Richard Toccato Companies.
On your phone, on your radio, in your car, on your iPad, on your computer, and on the Ace and TJ Family app. Anytime, anywhere, for your entertainment. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Hey, so I don't mean to alarm you. However, this might be alarming because I saw this study yesterday. You have an infant at home. How old?
6 months.
A toddler is a toddler at 1, right?
Whenever they start toddling.
Yeah. Whenever they begin to toddle.
Yeah.
They said exposing toddlers at any amount of screen time can lead to difficulties processing their surroundings.
See that? Yeah.
Researchers now suggest that young children should entirely avoid screen time for the first 2 years of life, as it may lead to atypical sensory behaviors related to autism and ADHD. 2 years. Avoid all screen time. So I know you love Miss Rachel at home.
Yeah, but he's limited. He gets it's only on 30 minutes a day. He can watch like a total of about 30 minutes a day is where we try to keep it. And the only time we've really deviated from that for the most part is if we go out somewhere and he gets a little fussy, like if you're in a restaurant and he gets fussy, I'll put it on my phone, or Amanda will put it on her phone, just because that kind of keeps him settled.
But they're saying like any level of screen time.
You know what? For a bajillion years, kids have seen TV.
And where are we at now?
Yeah.
You see where the society is?
Not killing them.
And I don't know anything about babies. I've got a couple of nephews and a niece, but I really have zero experience with babies. But I found this number alarming. It said the study discovered that screen time at 12 months old displays a link to a 105% higher likelihood of these issues by 33 months. I mean, that number was alarming to
I can
me.
see that. That's why we make a concerted effort to limit that.
Yeah.
I don't have little babies.
Yeah.
But if I did in this day and age, they would get no screen time of children's programming or anything, because it's all indoctrination and stuff. So
They're trying to mold their little minds at a very young age.
They got to get them as young as possible.
They're trying to put their claws in them.
Start indoctrinating.
They're happy and
brainwashing
your
them.
hands. When they all clap their hands together, it's communist.
That's very liberal to clap your hands.
Oh, they're not doing
actually,
that
the clapping your
anymore.
hands okay. The stomping your feet is the liberal part.
Don't make me start throwing some facts about Miss Rachel out there.
Oh, do you know something about Miss Rachel?
Oh, no, she's liberal. Yeah.
Whatever happened over the Christmas break, Alexis has been drinking the TJ juice. I mean, she sounds like TJ
she's on it.
2.0.
Well, you should hear my fiance. That's probably why. I hear it here at work, and then I hear it at home. So
You're being indoctrinated.
I'm being indoctrinated by the other side.
I can't help it.
You got a good indoctrination at home and work.
Yep. Jay even leaves the that type of news on for the dogs while we're gone. I'm like, now why do the dogs need to watch this
Oh my gosh.
news?
You're just in your sleep saying you're going to make America great again. What was I thinking? What happened?
She wakes up and Jay's laying there going, China.
This liar. So Ace is obviously his wife is more plugged in with how to raise a kid now versus, and I don't mean that he raised kids in early 2000s.
Yeah.
She's raising a kid in 2024. Ace's baby blues. What's something that people will experience raising a kid now versus when you raised a kid when you did? And it might have been as early as, the 90s or the early 2000s, but what is the major differences that Ace needs to be on the lookout for? At the Ace TJ Show, we'll get your answers next.
Live on your radio and anytime you want on the Ace and TJ Family app or wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ Podcast and Radio Show.
When it's time for you to upgrade any of the furniture in your house, the first thing you need to do is check out Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture. You're going to love the people that run Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture. Go to acetj.com/mattress and find them. When it comes to buying or selling a house, there are all kinds of people that can help you do that. But not like the Temple team at Keller Williams Realty. They are so much more than just real estate salespeople. Find out by going to acetj.com/Temple team.
It's more than just a great room that makes the Hyatt-centric South Park Charlotte such a special hotel. It's the great restaurants, the great bar, the great meeting rooms, and a superior location. Make reservations and get details at acetj.com/Hyatt. Today, every company is a technology company. No matter what type of business you're doing, you are a technology company in some fashion. But becoming a fully enabled digital workplace is not easy. That's why you should let CompuCom guide you. CompuCom is a proven leader in managed IT services. They deliver innovative solutions designed for how you work today and, most importantly, for how that will transform tomorrow. They help you deliver results. Just go to CompuCom.com for details. That's CompuCom.com.
Miss any part of today's show? Catch up anytime on the Ace and TJ Family app or wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ Podcast and Radio Show.
Go check out the Ace and TJ Family app at acetj.com/app. It's totally free and totally awesome. You can listen to the show. You can watch the show. You can win great prizes. We gave out a bunch of merch this week to a bunch of lucky listeners for playing Ace TJ Rewards on the app. So many great things. You can learn about Peyton's Promise. You can check out app-exclusive content, listen to all the podcasts like TJ and Jody's House and The Meaningful Meeting with Ace and Nerd News and so many great things. acetj.com/app. Now, Ace has a baby at home, a six-month-old baby, and it's the light of his life.
He's awesome. He
Fair
really
to
is
say.
fun and funny. He's awesome.
Yeah, he was a little meatball. He was in that cart the other day on Instagram, spinning around in circles backwards, just having the time of his life.
Just chilling.
I said, there's no doubt that is your kid.
Yeah, laid back. His head is bigger than 99% of 6-month-olds, and he's taller than 99% of 6-month-olds.
Yeah, did you hear that, Alexis? He's got a big head.
Yeah. Huge
Just
head.
just like his dad.
That's Rob's baby.
It might be Rob's.
Oh no.
But he's raising a kid in 2024 versus raising his first kids in the early 2000s. Have you run into any issues with being married to a millennial mom versus the way you raised kids in the early 2000s?
Not a lot. She's just much more particular about things like when you make his bottle, she only wants to use distilled bottled water and not like it, unless absolutely. Well, it should never come from the sink. It only comes out of the. Your only other choice is out of the refrigerator, where it's filtered.
Yeah, I totally get that too because I don't want to drink no sink water.
It's water, man. Just get the water. But, but it's mainly because of the area in which we live. She believes that it's we live on coal ash, and so we got to be more careful. So there's that thing.
Our whole house is built on coal ash.
Yeah, well, she's checked the map. She knows the deal. She's done the research.
I don't even know what that is.
And then it's things like that. But for the most part, we're pretty together. There are just new things, like things that weren't around. There was, when I was raising my 21-year-old son, Cade, there was no app where I could watch him on my phone from wherever I am in the world, and it tells me how many breaths he's taking, and when was the last time he cried, and all that kind of stuff. Like, you can get too much information,
right?
That kind of thing.
So I put this up on social media. Like, what are some things he needs to look out for versus raising a kid now versus a kid back in the early 2000s? And Chris said it's all about sticking to principle. Teach them about respecting people and doing the right thing. Be able to stand up for themselves when they're doing wrong. Or when someone else is being done wrong. Teach them to question things and not just accept what people say. Teach them to love but protect themselves and make sure they learn real history and not this rewritten crap they're trying to do.
Yeah, those basic things are pretty much the same. Who you are as a person and your principles and all that kind of stuff is pretty standard.
Yeah.
And things like social media, that doesn't affect him now at 6 months old.
He doesn't have an Instagram.
He doesn't have an Instagram account, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's something that'll be down the road. You'll have to deal with. But I'm a big believer in an 8-year-old doesn't need a phone, that kind of stuff.
We'll see.
It's got to be older until they get. Both my other kids were teenagers before they got phones.
Yeah, we'll see if you stick with that.
I will.
You will?
Yeah, that's a big one for me.
Pretty confident?
Yeah.
No phone?
No phone. Yeah, you got to be 13 before you can have a phone. And even then, it depends on how mature you are.
Oh.
Yeah. You can drive, but you can't have a phone.
Well, Daddy's got to get home.
Well, yeah, some other people said things about cell phones and social media and stuff like that. Finishing up high school, going into college before they had a phone. That's a tough line to force there, especially now.
Yeah, that's much harder to do now, especially if your kid is more active. If your kid's active and busy, which mine will be. Yeah. That's difficult to do.
Yeah.
To keep up with them all the time and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You're screwed, man. This sounds scary.
And here's the best part too. I'm old.
Yeah, you only got a couple more years.
I'll be 70 when that boy hits high school.
Yeah. And
right now, I'll be 69 when he starts high school.
So it'll be great. You can just give him your phone, and then you'll get a jitterbug or something.
Right. That's exactly what will happen. Exactly right.
There's a myth that's going around the internet that a lot of people seem to not know already. I think that's kind of surprising. We'll get to it next.
It's radio. It's a podcast. It's the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
Meal delivery services are a big thing right now, but Table and Twine is your local meal delivery service. The meals are fresh, not frozen like national chains. Plus, their meals start at just $7.99 a serving. Take back that time in your day, leave the shopping, preparation, and cooking to Table and Twine. Get details at tableandtwine.com. That's tableandtwine.com. Give the gift of health and community with the Gaston County Family YMCA membership. It's more than just a gym. It's an opportunity to join a community, receive support for health and wellness, and participate in programming for all ages. Get details at GastonYMCA.org.
If you want all of the heating, air, and electrical work in your house done by the very best, then you need Bradham Brothers. They've been a family business thriving for over 50 years, and that means they're doing something right. Go to BradhamBrothers.com.
Available when you want, how you want, on the Ace and TJ family app. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Go check out the Ace and TJ store at acetj.com/store. We've got a bunch of great stuff over there. Hats, t-shirts, hoodies, crew neck sweatshirts, and the Ace and TJ hot sauces. TJ, are you done crying over Gypsy Rose Blanchard yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Those tears have dried. Jody said that he was crying during the that Hulu show called The Act, which was out a few years ago.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you missed that.
I know, me too. I don't know what happened. But yeah, child abuse gets to me every time.
Does it?
Yeah.
I've never seen TJ openly cry about something, so
Me neither.
I would have loved to have been a fly on that wall.
Right.
What is it? Is it an ugly cry that you do?
No, this was just, handsome single tears.
Softly weeping. Single tear. But I think Jody's more involved with it than you are. She knows when the next interview with Gypsy Rose is coming on, the next special on whatever channel. She is plugged in and ready to go.
And Gypsy's living her best life right now.
Yeah, I mean, kind of doing it all.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much. I mean, she was held as a medical prisoner her entire life.
Right.
You know, she said the greatest day of her life was the day that she got put into prison, her first day in prison, where she got to walk out and sit at a picnic table and just sit there and and could be amongst other people and everything.
Even though she was in prison, better than what she had been living.
She says she's way more free in prison than she was at home with her mom.
And she got to probably eat real food in prison instead of it being pumped into her stomach. So
I saw that her first couple of stops were she went to a McDonald's and then she went to a Burger King.
yeah,
Like in one day.
she's
was
getting
like,
it all.
I'm gonna try.
She
all
wanted
that
a Whopper,
stuff.
but she knew she better get the McDonald's fries.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's what it was.
Don't you wonder what she ordered? Like,
Oh, yeah.
You go straight to McDonald's. What'd you get?
I just
That's a good chicken nugget.
assumed that was for her big old husband.
Yeah, he a big boy.
That he couldn't go from one to the other without eating again.
Do we trust him?
No, I think something's wrong with him, and I think he's going to end up being a problem for her. Because he's an attention seeker.
Well, I think she's gonna outgrow him, and not in that sense, but in the other sense.
She's not going to eat that much.
Live in the morning and anytime you want it on the Ace and TJ family app. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.